Drag with Remedy. Ballyhoo and welcome. The Passion Project continues. My name is Remedy Robinson, and this is an appreciation. This is an exploration of linguistics, language, and exactly how to name drop, as framed by the peerless poetry of the modern-day master, Elvis Costello. Today's slow drag is with Nothing Clings Like Ivy from The Delivery Man, released in 2004. The songwriting is credited to Elvis Costello. Each verse, bridge, and chorus create a delicate yet sturdy interlocking set of puzzle pieces that have been placed in their perfect location in order to reveal a complicated allegory of strength, bravery, and bouts of fierce softness. Within the wordplay between the plant's name and the woman's name, there seems to be a deeper conversation going on between obscure participants. As with so many Elvis Costello pieces, there's so much more just lingering in the periphery. Nothing clings like ivy, frightened by the dark. Though she cuts deep, it never leaves a mark. This lovely piece will begin and end with a chorus that masquerades as a verse, bookending a story that is set up using the polarity of strength and weakness. It's a 4-line introduction that bounces between the two efficiently as it makes a meal of the slant rhyme ivy and deep that's then paired with the simple end rhyme of dark and mark. It's all a part of the discreet charm of the so-called Southern belle, I suppose. That is to say, it's easy to embroider ivy with this moniker with very little else to go on, especially given Emmylou Harris's angelic vocals in the background of the finished song. Whether this accurately describes Ivy herself is left up to interpretation. You may ask how we even know that that's her name and not the plant he's referring to. Well, simply Ivy is capitalized, therefore it's a proper noun. Also, notice how Mr. Costello suggests she's more thorn than rose petal when he puts forth that, like the ivy plant, she has sharp edges. The ivy leaf, however, is soft to the touch. No one quite like Ivy. Everyone gets it straight. What she believes, she won't negotiate. Here we have another beautiful slant rhyme of Ivy and believes. We've also learned quite a bit about Ivy the person in a quick 8 lines. An image of a clever and stubborn woman with a range of wiles is emerging. But when has Mr. Costello's heroines ever been shrinking violets? Using the illusion of the scaling green leafy plant to evoke many of the characteristics of ivy, there is a sense that she is fragile-looking yet unstoppable and potentially dangerous. The ivy berry is attractive yet toxic if touched, and once you have ivy, it is difficult to get rid of. All the words of tenderness that never quite got through. She says, "You know how young girls are, from my contempt for you." The description in the verses that have come before this is starting to bleed into the environment as well. Sometimes mental and emotional kicking and screaming can drown out anything good. Slant rhyme is forsaken for the clever cutting remark in this verse. Take note that this is the first of 3 quotes in this piece. This one starts with "she says" in the present tense. It's quite lovely to think of her insult as a reflection of her own life of delusion, given that Ivy might not be as young as she may view herself to be. Outside in the hollow, she may dare herself, or there may be a serpent in the grass. Nothing clings like ivy, trying to scare herself. and it may strike or wait for her to pass. The word hollow gives us another clue into Ivy's southern roots. Often thought of as a rather clannish place, a hollow is a small sheltered valley that is typically found in southern U.S. states such as North Carolina and Tennessee. Ivy seems both fearless and frail, the product of being isolated from and surrounded by loved ones who may not always love her, but who will always protect her nevertheless. How else is she able to be so brave enough to scare and dare? All the words of tenderness that she never possessed. So what's the use of promises? I had my fingers crossed. Now, instead of words of tenderness that didn't get through, the words of tenderness were never Ivy's to begin with. Subtle shifts in perspective, such as this, seem able to create seismic shifts in meaning. What's more, here we find the second of 3 quotes. This time it is attributed to no one, but has a double set of quotes denoting 2 speakers. The answer to what use promises are seems to be answered with a petulant past tense remark, I had my fingers crossed. There is something wonderfully inscrutable about crossed fingers. It is at once a gesture meant to bring good luck, yet when held behind one's back, the same gesture means you are lying. How they live in the same universe has always tickled and stymied me. All the words of tenderness that never quite got through, she said. I laughed behind your back when I told them to you. Repeated once again, the words of tenderness that she never possessed in the verse just before now goes back to how they never quite got through. It's another shift that calls attention to itself enough to at least make you wonder what the significance between the 2 are. What a wonderfully impossible scene to imagine, laughing behind someone's back at the same time they're telling them something. What exactly is going on to create such a scenario? My golly, what a great line. A lesser poet might get tripped up in the sticky syntax, but when you're the master, it seems like it's just a walk in the park. Nothing clings like ivy, frightened by the dark. Though she cuts deep, it never leaves a mark. Dig it! Again, this has been a slow drag with Nothing Clings Like Ivy from 2004's The Delivery Man. Perhaps partly owing to where this album was recorded, Oxford, Mississippi, or partly the reason it was recorded there, there is a devilish Southern Gothic charm to this album in general, and to this piece in particular. It's as if Ivy could plunk herself down in a Flannery O'Connor story and feel right at home. A good man is hard to find indeed. This piece uses devices such as repetition and quotation that shifts from verse to verse with great precision. It's the small details of using the different tenses that adds texture and depth to a story of a Southern belle and what sounds like her complicated relationship with the world around her. And that's it for today's slow drag, my friend. Thank you for listening. Other gems from The Delivery Man you'll enjoy a slow drag with are episodes 16 and 17. I might recite a small prayer and the quickening art. They are a slow drag and a supplemental episode with Bedlam. And episode 27, or maybe I Really Love You, it's a slow drag with Needle Time. And episode 53, The Worthless Bum, it's a slow drag with Monkey to Man. Of course, you can find me on social media in all the usual places. Just search for my name, Remedy Robinson, or the name of my podcast, Slow Drag with Remedy. Also, please visit slowdragwithremedy.com for companion blogs, transcripts, and other useful information, such as where to purchase my first novel, The Most Terrible Time in My Life, ends Thursday. And as always, thank you for helping to get the word out about this little passion project. Truly, it means the world. So, until next time, adieu, my little ballyhoo. Slow Drag with Remedy.